Good evening, all. Dear participants, hope you all are healthy and happy. I am Ashish Kumar Vishwakarma. I am one of the facilitators for this course. I am on behalf of Elixir Educational Services and Diligent Tech Solutions. Welcome you all to Module 3 of this workshop series. I would like to take the honor to introduce you all to our guest speaker and hands-on expert for this course. Our first speaker is Dr. Atul Kumar Dwivedi. He is PhD from NIT Raipur. He is an expert in image processing, signal processing, and optimization using MATLAB. He added a value to the community of engineers and scientists by sharing his expertise through many workshops and events in MATLAB, signal and image processing. Our next speaker is Dr. Rahul Kumar Chaurasia. He is PhD from NIT Raipur and currently serving as assistant professor in Mani Bhopal. He has 10 plus years of experience in teaching and research. He holds expertise in signal and image optimization technique. As hands-on expert, we have Mr. Sakhi Gopal Panda with us. He has 6 years of experience in teaching and training in signal and image processing using MATLAB. I again welcome you all to this course. Happy learning.
Hello, good evening to
Now I
all of
would
you.
like to
This is Sakhi.
request Dr. Sanchil Kumar to say a few words about this course and MATLAB software. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, one and all present here. I am Dr. Sandil Kumar, shortly known as Dr. SSK. I am one of the organizer of this workshop. On behalf of Diligent Tech Solution and Prime Academy, I am welcome you all for this workshop. Actually, we are conducting workshop, online hands-on workshop on MATLAB for science and engineering, and we have 4 modules. You are attending the 3rd module. It is signal and image processing with MATLAB. We have big team. We have resource persons like R.N. Patel, Dr. Atul Kumar Dwivedi, Dr. Rahul Kumar, Ashish Kumar Vishwakarma, Sakhi Gopal Panta. You have Kamesh Rao, and we have many resource persons like this. So they will help you by all means, and you will be having coordinator name. His name is Raj Kumar. He is most energetic person. He will be helping by all means. So whenever you have doubt, whenever you have queries, you can ask them. They will help you by all means. And I welcome you all once again for this workshop. Thank you. Thank you, one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Atul Kumar to take over the podium and start first session of this module. Welcome, Atul sir.
Okay, Ashish sir. Atul sir will join shortly. So
Okay.
Till then, I will continue with some introductory part of the course.
Okay, sir.
Here, once again, good evening to all of you. This is Sakhi Gopal Panda, and I will be one of the hands-on experts in the session of our signal and image processing, that is module 3 of our MATLAB workshop series. Our resource persons for this session, that is signal and image processing. Our first lecture will going to be taken by Dr. Atul Kumar Dwivedi sir. He is joining shortly. Till then, we can have a discussion. And one more thing, that those participants who are not having MATLAB with them, because most of the past participants in this group have attended the previous 2 sessions, that is fundamentals of MATLAB and the Simulink part. So those who didn't have participated in both the series, then they can face some problem, some difficulty during installation of MATLAB. So if we have some specific problem, then you can share. Otherwise, we can have a session by tomorrow. Personally, we will deal with them so that you can install properly. You can be familiar with the MATLAB. And within a few minutes, Dr. Atul Kumar Dwivedi sir will join, and we will be continue with this session. Most of the people may belongs to electronics background, since the course name is, what do we say, signal and image processing. So we will deal with different types of signals, like discrete signals, continuous signals, and other types of signals. For example, what do we say, PCG, ECG, and different types of signals. So just I'm sharing my screen. Actually, the basic main portion will going to be taken by Atul sir. Then also let's have some introduction regarding related to our this part, this session. What are the topics we were going to be covered? Actually, the signal processing will take some pre-knowledge of MATLAB. That means how to generate some vectors, because signals are kinds of vectors. So we just have to be aware of vectors, matrices, different types of signals, like they are continuous or not, different types of plots, whether we are using some stem plots, whether we are using some line plots. So we will continue with some those topics, and we should have some basic knowledge of what do we say, loops, that is conditional structures also required for that. But those we are going to cover in detail in the next session. In some parts we're going to be covered in today's session also. And one more thing, that in the first session we are going to learn that how the pre-processing and the analysis of signals will going to be covered. How the signals are generated. For example, if I actually the term generation of signal may be quite tough, quite complex to learn. But if I say that I have to generate a sinusoidal signal, then nothing is required. This is very simple. Those who are, I think most of the people who are attending this session are aware of plotting techniques. We have already learned in our graduation course, even in the previous courses. So let's just revise a simple part here. If I have to plot a sinusoidal signal, then what to do? Just I have to take some time value, and just I have to go for some amplitude values. So here, if I want to plot a sinusoidal graph, then what to do? Just we have to go for a linspace command to generate some data. That is, if my my sinusoidal signal varies from 0 to 2 pi, and there are some 100 values, just a single thing. So I can plot it. Now it will show me 100 values between 0 to 2 pi. Now I can see the what do we say, our rational numbers. So there is another command which we have used earlier, that format rat and format short. If I use format short, it will give me a result in decimal form. Just I repeat, in format rat, all the values are in rational form. In format short, all the values are in decimal form. So these are some data points. Now I have to plot these data. So what to do? If I just plot, if I just write plot t, then it will generate a graph here. You can see. For the first time, it may take some time. Yes. Now I have a straight line over here. So it is a continuous time signal, means the signal is moving continuously one to one. And now if I want to plot it discrete time, means all the values have a single point at the time. In our signal processing, we say it as impulse signal. So just I have to go for a plot function that is stem. Just I'm giving us some demos. Then we will go in deep in the lecture portion. So you can see here all the signals, all the values of t are represented here. If I zoom these signals, I can watch clearly. Here, the zoom portion is here. Now, okay. So I can zoom all the signals here. So I can see that what is the impulse value of this 20, that is time format. Actually, this is the index value, the position of particular time value. So these are different types of our signals. Okay, so I think Dr. Atul sir is here. I request Dr. Atul Kumar Dwivedi sir to take the class continue. Sir, are you there?
Atul sir, are you there, sir? Sakhi sir, he's just joining.
Yes. Yes, sir. So here we have seen that how some continuous time signals are represented and how some discrete time signals are represented. These will going to be dealt in detail in this session. So if we have any confusion regarding any function, just we have to go for this help part. If I want to know the functions which were performing behind stem, behind plot function, then we just go for the help part. It is a help tool. Let me show you.
Okay, great. Should I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, sure.
Okay. So good evening and welcome to all. Today we are going to discuss the basics of signal processing. So because this group is a mixed kind of group where some of you have already gone through the basic course in MATLAB and some of you are new. So I think a little introduction will also be helpful for all of you, that what is the MATLAB and what are the applications and how to use it. Okay, so if you have not installed the MATLAB, then you can take help from our coordinators. They will help you how to install the MATLAB. And if you have problem in downloading and installing, then you can also contact them they will help you to install and download the MATLAB. I will share my presentation, just I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so we'll go through this. The agenda for today's class is that we'll understand basic signals and we'll understand how to represent signals with the help of MATLAB. Also, we'll do some pre-processing and how to analyze some signals with the help of MATLAB. So let us see that we already know that signal processing is very important nowadays. We are using the mobile devices and the radars, automatic cars with having many signals in it. We have many measurement devices for health, and for railways and other big industries, all are using signal processing for their proper operation. Okay, so the signal processing is very, very important. I hope all of you know this thing. Because of that only you are part of this program, because you need this knowledge in how to use MATLAB in signal processing. Okay, very nice. So then we have image processing also. Image processing also is also very important. In signal processing, we mostly are concerned about the machines. In this, you see that our mostly concern was to the machine, which are helpful to human being, which are making the life of human being easier. But in the image processing, one more aspect is there that I say that it's called human perception. In image processing, you also have to take care of human perception, that how humans perceive the images. What is the quality of images? How much noise is there? How much noise means less noisy images are there? What kind of quality is there? So human perception is included in the image processing, which was not there in signal processing. Machine interpretation is there in signal processing also, in image processing also. So machine interpretation will continue, because image is also a kind of signal only. So machine interpretation means how the data that is connected to the signal or image, how the machine is responding to that data. That particular thing is important in the image processing also. Okay, so this was just a very idea. And MATLAB. Three things are required in this course. First thing that is that you should have basic idea of signal processing. The second is you should have basic idea of image processing. Now, third thing that we are going to understand, that is MATLAB, that how to do signal processing and image processing in MATLAB. So before starting the MATLAB, before going to the use of MATLAB in the signal and image processing, let us understand what is MATLAB. So MATLAB is very well known software among engineers and scientists. Most of the branches of engineering are using MATLAB nowadays, including the chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, and fluid mechanics, microfluidics, nanotechnology, EC branch, electrical branch, and computer science branch. These are the main branches. Apart from that, other branches also like mechanical engineering, civil engineering, aerospace engineering, chemical engineering, all are using MATLAB nowadays for their applications. Of course, signal and image processing is mostly dependent, because here we deal with the data, and data analysis. MATLAB is very efficient in data analysis. So signal is actually represented in the form of data only, and MATLAB is very efficient in data analysis. So MATLAB is very, very important to know, and that is very, very helpful also for the analysis. Okay, so let us go to the MATLAB. I will just open. If you have MATLAB installed already, then you can just click on open, and then it will open for you. So that until that time MATLAB is opening, I will continue discussing with what are the advantages of MATLAB. So some of you might be knowing this C programming and C++ programming. You may not know any programming language. I will say that there is no need of knowing programming before starting MATLAB. Even if you don't know anything in the programming, then also you can start MATLAB. If you know programming, then it will be easier for you. So that this is such a language that anyone can understand. Even a child, if it is he is taught properly, he can start with the MATLAB. So C, C++, any programming language, they need some libraries to be invoked before starting the program. You have to initialize some library, C, C++, Java, .NET, whatever, Python even. So in Python also there are libraries that need to be included before writing complete in the program itself. But in MATLAB, you don't need to write any library or any programming kind of thing. That is the first advantage. Second thing, there are a lot of toolboxes. So strength of MATLAB is toolboxes. So a lot of toolboxes are inbuilt in the MATLAB. Therefore, you don't need to do everything from scratch. If you do everything from scratch, then it takes a longer time to complete your task. So in MATLAB, the one more advantageous thing is that you don't need everything to write. There are many predefined functions available in MATLAB. Okay, so this is a very big. And third thing is support or help. A lot of help and is available in the documentation of MATLAB. So that also helps a lot. And fourth thing is that very easy interface. So the interface is very easy and user friendly, so that you can interact with the software very easily. This is not a difficult interface. Nothing is so that you cannot understand anything in the MATLAB, and their errors are also easy to understand. You can easily understand. Initially, when you are starting with it, it may take time to be familiar and be very expert, will become an expert into it. But after some use, little 5 days or 10 days work in the MATLAB, you can easily understand what is what and what is the problem in my program. How can I rectify it? That is what. Okay. So this was a basic idea about the MATLAB, that what are the advantages of MATLAB. Okay, so the MATLAB is open now. If you open MATLAB in your system, it will not open like this. It will this will be a blank screen, and this window, the window name is also written over here, that this window is command window, and where there are these two arrow, that is command window. Here you can write commands in the MATLAB. And this button, this space is actually, this space is workspace, where workspace means how much space you are taking in the MATLAB. 2 bytes, 4 bytes, 10 bytes, how much memory you are taking, what are the variables that are being used in the MATLAB program. So that all will be listed here. And third is current folder, the current directory. In older version, this name was this window was current directory, and now this is called current folder. So this is a folder of your computer or for your system, where the programs are where you are working currently. Means all the program files will be saved into this folder only. That is your current folder. Okay, this command window. Second, workspace. I have just discussed 3. First one is this is called command window. Second is workspace. So this is workspace. Third is current folder. This is current folder. Wonderful. So 3 things. Just why I'm introducing it. So those who already know it, just wait, so that the newcomers who are new to who have directly joined this third module only, they can also understand with you. So they will also go with you. Okay. Next thing, just these 3 things you should know. Fourth one is when you go to write a program. If you are writing a program, then you should click on new script. This will open an editor window. When you click on this new script, this will open a editor window. So editor window, new window will come, editor window here. This is fourth window that you should know. Here you can write programs. You can save the programs. You can share the saved program to other people. So that is what will be there. Very good. Very nice. So this is and other things. Here you can search in the documentation. Any help you need from the MATLAB, that will be available from this place. This is the fifth place where you can take help. So help and support from the MATLAB documentation can be taken from here. You can type your query here, your keywords here. MATLAB will help you. MATLAB will answer from their documentation that how can you resolve that query. Okay, and next thing you should know that how to write a program, how to use this interface. This was just a basic idea of interface. MATLAB desktop. We say this MATLAB. This is called a MATLAB desktop. Okay, so anytime if you do not have the layout, which you seem that something, because in MATLAB you can change the sizes of window. These windows you can close any window if you want from here. There is close option. So any window, even command window can be closed by clicking here. So any window can be closed or any window can be open, and sizes of the windows can also be moderated according to the requirement. Therefore, sometimes it happens that that you might not be see the same screen. Okay, so same screen will not be available for you. Then how you will say that no sir, my MATLAB is different. I'm not getting the command window. I'm not getting this window, that window. Then at that time, what you can do, you can go to the home tab, select the home tab, go to layout, then select this default. Click on default. When you click on default, automatically default MATLAB will open in your system. So that will be useful. Okay. Yeah. Is this okay till now? Is there any query?
No, sir. Some participants can't visualize the screen, but your screen is visible here.
Yeah, screen. You can see my name is really two, three names will be there in the list. So one name will show you.
Editor window.
I am just opening editor window. So just first of all, let me answer that question for Kapil Gupta. That you just click on my name where presentation is written and pin that particular window in your system. Then it will be shown to you. Okay. Next question is that where is editor window? So just go to the new script, click here, and it will open editor. So this is the editor window, fourth one that I have told. This is important for us. So we will say this is our editor. The editor is here.
Between edit window and command window.
Can you repeat what is question?
What is the difference between editor window and command window?
Yeah, I will just explain it. See, command window is a place where commands are executed. So you can execute commands even without saving them. Suppose in the command window you can execute commands that will not be saved anywhere. They will be saved temporarily in the MATLAB history. But when you close the MATLAB, all things will be erased. But when you write commands in the editor window, editor file, this MATLAB will ask. Suppose I am writing this command, simple command a equal to 2 in the editor window. Then when you run this, when you execute this, MATLAB will ask to save. So you have to save it. So saving this, this will save the file. My first file, I say my first program. Yes, so this is my first code. Okay. So this is my first code. So this is now saved. I can share it with anyone. I can save it for future. Whenever I want to open, I can open this. But the commands executed in the command window are erased when you just close the window. That is what is the difference. Is this clear?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, is it going to current folder after saving?
Yes, it will go to current folder or wherever you save. You can save anywhere, other places also.
Sir, can you show? Okay, just recently we saved that one. My first folder.
Okay, once again I will do. That will be b equal to 3. Okay, so I have taken new plus. You click on the plus, it will open a new. Either you can go from here or you can just click on the plus right side there. So b equal to 3 new file. When I have clicked on the run button, it will ask where you want to save. Anywhere you can save, even on desktop. So if I select desktop, then it will go to the desktop and click on the save button. When you click on the save button, it will ask, MATLAB editor will ask, do you want to change the folder? This I generally choose this only. So this will change my current folder to desktop. Now my current folder is desktop, and in this folder you can see your file will be available. Whatever name you have given, that name. I have not given any name, so untitled2.m file will be there. This is untitled 2. You can give name also, no problem.
Sir, small doubt, sir. Here, the editor and .m file just understood. Before we starting things, okay, we have to create one folder. Okay, whatever the work we have done, everything will be saved in that folder. Okay, how should we just create that folder and working directory?
So before starting anything, any work, you just create a folder on desktop, and then come this place in the MATLAB, and then just open a new script and write a program, whatever program, and after writing program, you just save into that folder only. So I have already created a work_mat folder in my desktop. That is blank.
Yes,
currently there is no file. So I will save all the things here now. Okay.
Sir, one more, sir. Okay, means in that work even space also saved, but
no, variables are not saved, only file will be saved. The result you have to save. Yes, only editor script will be saved. If you want to save result, then you have to do this task separately. Okay.
Sir, one more thing, sir. .mat file. Okay, what the importance of that? Okay, just I have seen some.
.mat file is actually data file. That is what I was saying. That if you want to save the data, then you have to save it separately. That is called .mat file. Suppose I want to save this A and B, the data of my execution. Then I have to I can click here and right click here and save as. So when you click here to save, it will come in .mat file. So data. So if you want to save data, then data will be saved in .mat file. So if you want to use this data in future, then also you can also restore it from here. That is what
it means. We have to just .m and .mat, okay, separately. Okay, both are not for the same.
Both are different. .mat file is different. .m file is actually editor file. That is mostly useful. Okay, so let me just I have opened a file and I will write some commands. When you want to clear the workspace data, then you have to write a command called clear. This command is used to clear the data in the workspace. If previous program data or any data is available in your MATLAB, then that will be cleared with clear command. And this semicolon can be used or cannot be used. And this percentage is used for the comments. Okay, so this is a command to clear workspace. Okay, CLC to clear the command window. I have to keep percentage first. So this is percentage is for comment. It is not compulsory to write commands. this comments. This I'm writing for understanding comments, how to write comments. Okay, so this 5 is necessary here. To clear the command window, you have to write CLC, and to clear the workspace. Now I'm executing this. So this is my first. Okay, so this is now saved. I will do a simple work here. Just calculation of area of a circle. Okay, please mute. Okay, so there is that what is the use of command window if editor used to write the program? There is use of command window. Command window is actually the executor where all the commands are executed and results are visible in the command window. I will show you that area of a circle. So for area of a circle we need radius. So let us take r equal to suppose radius is 10 and area will be equal to pi. So pi is a predefined function, predefined constant in the MATLAB. R into r. Either in this way you can also write r square, no problem. So this is pi r square and this is area. So yeah, you can see that the area is available in command window. Moderator, please mute the participants' mic. Okay, good. So the area is 314.1593. Yeah, good. So this we have calculated area. Area is available in the command window. I think now that query was clear that what is the use of command window. If editor is used to write the program, command window will give you the result. Editor cannot give you result. You can write program in the editor, but the results will be available in the command window. Result also, yes, I will continue with the question. The result also can be seen in the workspace, but best way but the only result will be available in command window. In the workspace, all the things will be available, all the variables. If program is very long, then there will be many variables, and that all list of the variables will be available in the workspace. So you are not willing, you don't want to see the workspace, you just see the command window for the results. Great. You understood now many things. First thing is that what is the desktop of MATLAB and different windows. Command window, you understood the workspace, you understood the current folder, you understood the editor window, you understood the all those things in just because I wanted to you to understand the basics of MATLAB. Some of you are new, so that is why I'm just covering these all things. Great. So we can there is one command of disp command. So this what this is doing. Suppose I sometimes I am putting this semicolon, sometimes I am not putting the semicolon. What is the difference? Anyone can tell, because some of you know this. What is the difference? Putting and not putting.
Not showing the result.
Yes, if you put the semicolon,
Background.
it will not show the result. It will not show the result. It is doing the computation. It is doing the compilation. It is calculating the result, but it will not show. So this is suppression operator. It is suppressing the results from the command window. This is called suppression operator. Okay, good. So this is the area is actually a variable, and R is also a variable which can store the data. So there are some rules for naming the variable. That first rule is that this variable name is one variable name. Second is this program name. These two are important. So these two are important, that how to name your program and how to name the variables. So for naming a variable, the variable name should not start with, first rule is that do not start with number. Never start with number. You can use the number in between of your variable name or program name, but do not start with number. This is first rule, that never write a number in the first. Second, do not use special character. Do not start with the special character. Start with special character. I am using underscore in between. I have not started with underscore. So I cannot write underscore my first program like that. That is not allowed. You can use underscore in between. Do not use at the rate. You can use underscore, but a number in between. A number is also allowed in between or at the last, but you cannot use in starting. Second thing, continuous underscore is also not allowed. Do not leave space. Do not leave blank space. Okay, so this is important. Many times what people do, my first program, they will write title like my first program, but they will leave space in between, blank space. So do not leave blank space in the name. This is third rule. Fourth rule, that is also very important, and people feel difficult also, that is, do not use keyword, predefined keywords. Now this is a question that we don't know how many keywords are there and what are the predefined commands in MATLAB. So for that we should avoid using standard names like sine, cos, like that. So if you use that standard names, then there is a lot of chances that that may be matching with the MATLAB keywords. So that may create a problem in the execution of the program. Okay, so that is what these are the 5 rules which are important in the naming. So many times people are get very nice and correct program. They will ask, sir, why my program is not working? My MATLAB is not compiling my program. So they think what they have done. I found many times they use blank space in the name of the MATLAB files, and MATLAB is not responding. So these rules you should always keep in mind before writing programs. Okay, only 5 rules. They are not nothing difficult. Very good. I'll take care of queries. There are some 1 or 2 queries. So Farooq Ahmed have asked why there are 2 files in the current folder. I have stored 2 files. I have stored mat file also previously, and now I have stored this my first program file. Therefore, there are 2 files in the current folder. Okay.
Sir, my question is, okay, in the workspace, okay, what are the variables are there? All variables put together in the .mat file, or okay, separately we are just creating the .mat file for each variable?
No, .mat file, if you need data to be saved, then you can create. Otherwise, it will not be created automatically.
So, sir, in this case, you
can save combinedly also. There is
combinedly area and or in our case area and or put together as a one .mat file. Is it okay, sir?
In my case, see, if I want to store one variable, then I will click on one variable only and right click and save it. So now in my data, only one variable will be saved. If I want to save both of the variables, then I have to keep pressing Control key. In Control key, I have to select both. When both are selected, and I can save in the same file also, or I can save in other file if I want. So that is your choice. That how much data you want to store into the folder. That is up to us. Okay. There is no mandatory. It is not required. It is not required always. Okay, so it is when we need to save our result. Many times what happens in optimization problems especially, every time result will be different. If you in the first run, some result will come. In the second run, other result will come, which may be better than the first one. So you will say that I want to save that. That will be saved. In the next run, maybe better result are not there. So you will not do not want to save. So the data, only required data you want to save. So that time that is useful, that saving the data. But it is not always required. In all programs, for the example of my area program, only one result is there. Always the same result will come. This area will never be different. If I run this program 100 times, then also the same result will come. So therefore, what is the need of saving the results? Saving the result is required when the result is changing every time. Then you have to save the better results for your research paper or for your thesis work or for your project work. Otherwise, it is not required. Okay. Anyway, just I hope you have understood that. That is clear to you. And one more question by Padmalata madam. It will not return to the value of the previous variable. Yes. Yes, you are correct. It will not return. Yeah. Very nice. Nice. Okay. So this was just a basic introduction of MATLAB and MATLAB variable you have understood. I will go because in signal processing we need to deal with the signals which have linear data. For example, if we have to take the any plot of signal. See, if I want to plot a signal varying with the time, if I have this signal x of t varying with the time, what are the things I need? I need a time. For example, if this time is of 5 minutes or 5 seconds data, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 second data. So up to 5 data has to be stored into the t. So t should have the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 values it has to store, and xt corresponding to every t, there should be the value of x of t. Okay, so some value for the first 3, 4, 5. For every time, there should be some value for x of t also. So I need these things. This is not a single data. This is there are 5 data into the same variable. This is called vector or array. In the programming languages, this is either called vector or an array, storing array into a into the variable. So here, how to store this array into the variable, that I will tell. I'm just going to tell you how to store 5 values into a single variable. Okay. So let us take the second one, CLC. Clear? I usually write this in the starting of every program so that my program will not be affected by the previous programs. And then I have to create a t variable which have values 1 to 5. One way of storing these 5 values is to put all of them into the square bracket, and the values should be placed with space, not in continuation. You just place a space into this, and then you can store these 5 values into t. My second program, I can write number instead of this first. There is no problem, but in the starting you should not write. You can write in between. Okay. So now t have, see in the command window it is shown that t have values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one way of writing the program. Another way of storing the values, second way, is that you can write like t equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is the values, instead of separating by space, you can also write the values separating by commas. This will also do the same task. Let us execute this program by clicking on run button. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is stored into T. Okay, very nice. XT I have to take some relation between T and XT. So let us take XT. X is equal to T square. T into T will be T square. Okay, so X will be calculated. Not calculating. Why it is not calculating? Because this is not a single number. Previously, this one here, this same star was working for multiplication. This star was doing pi r square, pi into r. I was calculating the area of a circle. This was working, and this same star is not working this time. What happened? What is the problem? Those who know MATLAB, they will know. Why? Because MATLAB is Matrix Laboratory. The full form of MATLAB is Matrix Laboratory. Yes, very nice. Yes, some of you know because you have done the previous modules, module 1 and module 2. So some of you know this, that what is the problem. Yes. So this is a matrix laboratory. So this matrix is creating problem. Here the multiplication is matrix multiplication, not a simple multiplication. So this matrix, size of this matrix T is 1 row and 5 columns. If you multiply this with multiply by star with the same size matrix, it will not work. You know that matrix rule that these two should match. So matrix multiplication will not work. Okay, so there is one another way that is correctly suggested by Kritika Balakrishnan, and that, sir, you should use dot here, dot star. If I put dot star, it will work. Let me do. Okay, so I will do that. I will do use dot star and then click on run. Now you see the values of x 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. If I remove this semicolon, it will display in the command window 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25 that are displayed. So what is happening? Element wise multiplication. Very nice, Kapil. Yes, 1 to 1, Padmalata madam. You are right. That 1 to 1 multiplication is happening. Okay. So our xt is calculated and I want it plotted. So to plot it, you have to write plot command. Simple commands in MATLAB. Plotting takes a lot of effort in the other programming languages, but in MATLAB, it is very simple. So in x-axis, you want to plot t. In y-axis, you want to plot x. So this will be done with the help of command plot xt. Okay, so plot xt will work. Plot t comma x. I have to write because in x I want to plot t, in y.
Sir, is there any possible to plot two variable in x-axis?
Yes, there is possibility in x-axis two variables. Okay, let me understand the question first. That see this is t, and then in the y-axis there is x. Okay, so you want that two variables in the x-axis. How it is possible? You see, x should be only one variable. Other variable should be equal to x only. Then only we can plot. You can plot two variables in the y-axis. Even 3, 4, any number of variables in the y-axis. But in x-axis, only one variable. You can have one more plot in the same. Suppose I have y equal to 2t. Suppose I have y equal to 2t square. Suppose I have 2 into into t into t. Suppose I have this one, y. Then I can plot this also, no problem. See, the same plot, two lines will come. So two variables can be plotted. There is no problem. But if you say that x I am changing, then this is a little problematic. You can have a different range for y also. You can use this y axis for that purpose. But reference cannot be. I think it is not good to change the reference x value. Okay, so you can give a labeling also by writing x label. You can write t into the x by giving y label. You can write what I should write in y. This is x and y. Both are there. Y. You can give title to the program. So I can any title you can give. I am writing here my signal. You can also give legend. I will tell what is the meaning of legend. You will be able to understand automatically after seeing the plot. Legend, you will say x. Okay. Let us execute now. I have done some aesthetics in the plot. Cosmetics. These are the extra things just to decorate the plot so that it will look better. See, t is in the x-axis we have t. In y-axis we have x and y. And which one is x? You can see by legend. Because of legend, this box is coming. That is seeing us the difference. That which one is this red color is what, and what is this blue color is. Okay, and which is changing fastly, which have larger slope, which have a smaller slope, that we can understand by this. Okay, you will say that, sir, this is okay. Can you do change the when we are going to print this? When we are going to print this, both will look same. See, we can see in the when we are going to print in black and white, then both of the line will look same. So in the printed journal or printed paper, how they can be differentiated? There is also a way. You can make one line dotted and one line continuous. How can that be done? You have to just write. Yeah, I can show the plot in both y-axis, no problem. I will just changing one little thing here. I am just changing one thing, that this should be one line should be dotted line. That first line should be dotted. So I have put a colon in the as a third argument to the plot command. I have just put a colon. Yes.
Sir, your voice is not coming.
Yeah. Okay. I think now it will be coming.
Yes, sir, it's okay.
Okay. So second line is now dotted. You can see that I have just put a semicolon colon there. So because of that colon, this line is dotted. Okay. If there is any question, let me check. So Farooq Ahmed.
Yes, sir, there are questions.
Yes. What is the question?
The first one is why the plot is in form of points for the last point, for the last plot.
Because I have made this in the points. You can see I have put colon here. That x, this plot of x should be dotted line. Okay. Any other question? Just this is the answer, yes, that I have made that pointed dotted. Okay.
Yes, sir. There is a question that can you show the plot with both y-axis? That is plot yy command.
Yes, we can do plot yy command. We can do that. So That is used when there is different data. Here data was almost similar, so I have not used that command. Yes, sir, Dr. Suresh Periyanan. We can plot in both of the axes. Plot YY command is there. Instead of plot command, you have to use plot YY command. This will do the thing. 1 second, I have to do some more changes. See, and now both of the axes are being used, but why it is not showing the second one? Okay, so we can do with the help of plot YY command, but it will because here the data is yes.
Second is overlapped by first one, I think.
Yes, that is why both are here. The second is overlapped, therefore that is not being shown. Only second is visible. First one is not visible because both are overlapped. But when data is different, then plot YY is useful. When data is similar, then plot YY is not useful. So that is why here. That is what is the okay. So here at this my purpose was just to show you the basics of MATLAB. I am not repeating the complete module 1. I am just giving some highlights of module, some basics that we can do in the MATLAB. Just basic plotting. There are many advanced ways of plotting, so you have to go through the session of. There is a complete session, 1-day session for plotting itself, where we can do all the things. There are many things in the plotting, many types of 2D plots, many types of 3D plots. 3-dimensional plotting is also supported by MATLAB. So in plotting, I take a separate 2-hour session for plotting itself. Okay.
So there is another question, right?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, for assigning the time factor, we are using a square braces, right? So
yes.
If you use instead of square braces a normal open bracket, will there be any changes in that?
Yes, that is not, that we cannot use. That normal square bracket means, normal bracket means you are saying about parenthesis.
Yes.
This bracket. This is actually parenthesis, and this is used for the functions. You can see that here I am using for legend, title, y label, x label, plot YY. So this is reserved for functions, and this is not for assigning the variables. For assigning variables, we use this square bracket. Okay.
Curly brackets also can be used, right, sir? Like the flower bracket.
Curly bracket is have also different use. Therefore, we do not use curly bracket. They are used in cell programming when we use cell variable as a cell. So we do not use that curly bracket. Okay. You have to use a square bracket only. And this is a strict rule that we cannot change the structure of this program. You cannot change. You can change this comma and space. Yeah, instead of comma, you can use space, but you cannot change this type of bracket. So this should be square bracket only. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. There is another question by Sheikh Farooq Ahmed, that why the range is differing in X and Y.
Why the range is different in the X and Y? Because X is t square and Y is 2t square. So the range will be different. This is the simple thing. Because the function for X is different, function for Y is different. So both are different. So range is also different. Range will differ. Range cannot be same.
Sir, why don't you take x-axis t alone so that we can see to the plot, sir? Plot YY.
X alone.
Well, x is equal to t instead of t square.
Okay, x equal to t.
Okay. So it's overlap. No, that's why we are not getting.
Okay. Let us try. X equal to t and then plot. You see, now it is visible. Yeah, very good idea. Thanks for suggestion. Now you can see both of the plots are visible also, and they have different range also. You can see, because the function is now very much different. X and y are very different now. I should not use this legend because both are legend will work only in one axis. No, I should not give y label like this. There is a different way of giving the y labeling. So now the legend should be there. Okay, and okay, just I'm removing this y level. Now it is looking very nice. Let's see. This is this blue one is x linear because t equal to x only. So this will be straight line only, and this is a t equal to 2x 2t y equal to 2t square. Therefore, this is different. The value is also high for this. So this way we can plot these two. Remember it is okay. This was the basic plotting. The signals are represented with the help of these row vector and column vector. These vectors are now currently row vector only. I have stored the value of t in a row. A value of y is also a row. Value of x is also a row. You can see in the workspace. This is the row vector, and this is also a row vector. This is also a row vector. We can have this is a column vector. So signals are usually represented with the help of rows or columns. It can be a column also, no problem. In MATLAB, the indexing is from 1. Index starts from 1. In some programming languages, indexing starts from 0. In some programming languages, indexing starts from 1. In MATLAB, indexing is starting from 1. That means if I plot x, if I write here in the command window also I can write commands. So if I plot x without giving t, without writing plot t comma x, I can also write plot x. Then it will plot from 0 from 1 to 5. So automatic indexing of this is from 1. For any vector, the indexing is from 1. But in the signal system, in the signal processing, we see that many signals are starting from -3, -4, or many other places, many other index. There are negative indexes also. For example, if you have one signal x of n equal to 2n for the range -3 to 3, and x of n equal to 0 otherwise. If we have a signal like this, and if we want to represent this signal in the MATLAB, what we can do? How can we define this, and how can we do? So for this, we have to keep index always with us. This time is tracking our index. This time has to start from the minus value. We can also write -3, -2, -1. This has to be minus. Then this can be plotted. Let us try this simple plot. So for this is a discrete plot, and this was a continuous plot. For discrete plots, actually this is a discrete signal. You already, I think, those who have studied the signal processing, they must be knowing that signals are of two types basically. One is called continuous signal, where continuous data is there, like that, like the signal previously we were plotting. like which have every time instant there will be some value defined in this, and there are some signals which are discrete in nature. Discrete signal means it will have somewhere it will have values, sometimes it will have zero sometimes. So it is defined on discrete points only. It is not defined always. Okay, so there are some signals continuous and some are discrete signal. I have taken this signal, so this is discrete signal or continuous signal. This is discrete signal. And previously one example that I was discussing, this x equal to t and y equal to 2t square, x of t, this was example of continuous. So this was a continuous example, and this is a discrete example. So plotting a discrete plotting is done with the help of a new command that is called stem. So instead of plot command, we will use stem command, and the x value by n and the x of n with y as a y. So stem command we will use for plotting this. Okay, let us do it. I will take new file just by clicking on this plus button. Okay. Then first command I write CLC. Second, clear. We can write two commands in continuation also. There is no problem in MATLAB. It is not always required that you have to go to the next line for the new command. You can write two commands in continuation also. No issue. Okay. Then what I should do, I should assign values in n first. So what are the values? -3 and -2, -1. Some of you will say that, sir, you can use colon operator. And colon operator, what it will do, it will increment by 1. So instead of writing all the count from -3 to 3, I can write -3 colon 3. What it will do, it will create an array starting from -3 going up to 3, automatically increment with 1. So this will I can either write all the values starting from -3 to 3. I have to write -3, then -2, -1, then 0, then 1, 2, 3, like this I can write. Or much more simple is just put a colon. So what colon will do, automatically this will, from the starting point to the last point, it will increment by 1 and store into it. Okay, so that is also a good idea. If there are many values, you can use colon operator. Then after colon, this is now n is created. I have to create x values also. So x equal to 2n. For -3 to 3 range, the value is 2 into n. No problem. Simple. Okay. Then for plotting, I have already told that we will use stem command, not plot. Plot command we will not use because this is a discrete signal. Okay. I will use one more command for closing the previous, that is called close all. This closes all previous figure windows or all the windows that are open. So if any window is open, any MATLAB window is open, it will close that also by close all command. Okay, click on the run button. It will ask for saving. So this is my third program. Okay, let me clear all our questions first. See the result. Let us see the result. So it is a discrete plot. Index is starting from -3 going up to 3. Is it okay? Is that what we were expecting? We wanted that should be one plot like that. Now let me show you question again. What was the question? The problem? This was the problem. Problem was xn equal to 2n from -3 to 3, xn equal to 0 otherwise. So all other places this will be 0, and from -3 to 3 this is the plot. Okay, so this discrete plot is plotted. So we'll continue with the discrete plotting little bit. Then I will continue. I will again start with the continuous plots. Okay, so let us plot a simple question, that is simple function that is called delta n.
Sir, there is a question.
Yes.
Is the signal on time basis?
See, the signal on time basis. The question is clear, not clear to me. This is actually a discrete time. The signal is starting at the instant -3 instant, and it is continuing to 3. So in the signal processing, we many times say this: if the system or signal have the memory, then it may start with the negative time also. So if you are confusing with the normal time, that time cannot be negative, then the answer is that in signals and systems there is a negative time also many times. Yes, you are right. Thank you, Sai Mathur Kumar. That yes, n is equal to t. In the discrete, many times we use notation n for the time. So this is actually time only, which is started in the negative time is, and it is continued with the positive time. So it have memory. Okay, so this is for that kind of understanding. Okay, so let us take one more question, that is delta t. Let us try to plot delta n signal. How to plot? First of all, we have to define this delta n. What is the definition of delta n? All of you must be knowing that delta n equal to 1 for n equal to 0, and it is 0 otherwise. Delta n is 0 otherwise. Okay, so it is 1 for n equal to 0, and it is 0 for all other values. How to plot this? We can use a similar way, similar to our previous work, this work. And what I need n, and this time n is defined that 0 should be visible, and the left side and the right side you have to decide that how many points you want to show in your plot left side. So I can choose only 3 points left side. So I have to take -3 to sorry, this is +2, -3 to 3. I can choose from -5 to 5. It is up to me. Just the important thing is that this 0 point, this point should be visualized. This is delta n. This kind of plot should come. So n is up to me, that up to what point I want to show this n, and delta n is already defined. Okay, so let us take one new program. Write CLC, clear, and close all. Then n equal to -5 to 5. Let us take -5 to 5, and delta del n, any name which I think that this will not be defined, already defined inside the MATLAB. Okay, so del n equal to, see here there is no direct relation between n and delta n, so we have to use a different way of generating data. I have to generate zeros for -5 to -1, So there is one command called zeros which have 5 rows, one row which should have 1 row and 5 columns. Yeah, you can understand this, that this will generate zeros of 1 row and 5 column. 1 row and 5 column means a vector of zeros will be created. A vector of one matrix of zeros will be created which have only 1 row and 5 columns. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. This 0 for this, 0 for this, 0 for this, 0 for this, 0 for this. This is created. Now next value is 1. So here I have to write a space or comma. So 1. Then again zeros are required, right side zeros. So again I will write zeros. How many zeros? 5 zeros are required. So I have to take 1, 5. Okay. So this command is to generate the values for the delta. Now what command I should write for plotting? You all know. We use stem command. Yes, we use stem command for discrete signals. Stem n comma del underscore n you have to use. N comma del underscore n. This will do the work. Okay, great. Just hit the run button and see that result. You will see that you have to save it first. You will see that this is actually a delta function, delta n. Okay. So if I want to delay this signal or advance this signal, delta n plus 1 or delta n plus 2. Suppose this is a delta n plotted, very nice. Suppose you want to do the time delay properties, time delay into this signal. Yeah, if you suppose you want to plot delta n minus 2. What it means? How the signal should look, that this one value should come at n equal to 2. This will be at n equal to 2 instead of n equal to 0. Now the value will be shifted to n equal to 2. So what should I do now? Where the change will come? How should I change the program? You have to, you have to do, you have to change. This is minus 5 to 5, no problem. Your time is okay. This time for n value is okay. But what you have to do, you have to change here, because this is now different. Number of zeros before 1 are different now. Instead of these 5 zeros, and we have now added 2 zeros now. So if delay is 2, you have to add 2 here. I will tell you can define delay also directly, and you can automatically, it will shift by delay. So I have to change this zeros to 7. 2 delay is by 2, so you have to add 2 here and subtract 2 from this. And now execute the program. You can see that whatever was expected, this is available now. Okay, what had been done? What I have done? I have added 2 here because delay is 2 and subtracted 2 from here, because the data should be same. Otherwise, you cannot plot. The data in n and data in del n should have the same size. You can see 1 cross 11, n is of 1 cross 11, then del n should also be of same size. Otherwise, it will give error. Suppose by mistake I keep here 6 instead of 7. By mistake, suppose I have this thing. Then what it will show? If I run this, it will show error. That, sir, you have done mistake. This is not allowed. You have to keep both of the values of same size. 1 cross 11, 1 cross 11. We cannot keep different size for X, different size for Y. This is not allowed. Very nice. So we have plotted del n minus 2. This is question for you. Next is question for you. You should plot del n plus 3. This is for your practice. Del n plus 3. Plot this. How it should look. Now time is shifted. N plus 3 equal to 0. So n equal to minus 3. So now this will be at minus 3. Previously it was at 0 and new time is at minus 3. So minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So we have 5. To change 1 comma instead of 7, we have to change it to 3.
Yes, very right, very nice. So you can instead of increasing, you have to reduce it now, and then it will give you the expected result. Okay, this
3 is replaced with 7 and 7 is replaced with 3.
Yes, yeah, that should be done. Then only you will get your expected result. Okay, so this way we can do the delay in advance to any signal, not only to this one. For any discrete signal, we can do in this way only. From this property, we can be exercised with the help of this thing. Okay, so I will. This thing we have done. We can plot del n minus 1 now easily, del n minus 4 easily, and this shifting and delay property we can do. Okay, so let us go down. Okay. One more is there. One more question is there. This thing we have done. L n plus 2 we can do easily. One sinusoidal and cos, sine and exponential. These things are predefined in MATLAB. That suppose you in your problem or in your question. In the expression of signal, sine, cos, or e to the power something is there, then we can use exp for that kind of application. Okay, for example, if we have xn equal to e to the power j pi by 8 n, this is a little complex signal compared to that we have already practiced. So this is a little complex problem. So what we have to do here they want that the signal should be plotted from 0 to 32. So we have to take 32 points. N equal to what we will write, n equal to 0 colon 32. Starting from 0, we have to go up to 32. So I will write CLC, then clear, then close all, then n equal to 0 to 32. Okay. Then for representing this, for calculating the value of xn, we have to write exp for e to the power, then j, and then pi divided by 8 into n. This will generate the values of x. Okay, then I have plotted many things in this signal: real values, imaginary values, and then absolute values, then the phase values. Because this is a complex signal. So in complex signals, there will be real values, imaginary values, absolute values also, and angle, phase shifted values also. Okay, so this thing, just try it out, and I will explain what is. If anybody have doubt in this subplot, please let me know. If anyone don't know that what is it doing, then I will explain. Otherwise, I will understand that you know this thing.
If you have any query, please post it in
If
chat box.
subplotting or the meaning of subplot you don't know, then please post it in the chat box. Otherwise, you can practice this.
So there is.
It will show the 4 plots in one window. In one MATLAB window, it will show you the real also, imaginary also, absolute value also, and subplotting also. Subplot also. This phase value also. No, I have not shown the result here. So you will be seeing MATLAB. I will also open it. I have already done this program, and this program is available in one of my folder. I will just click on this. So this one is actually 5th one. So my 5 is this one, discrete complex problem. So this is the same program I have also written. You see here, the same program that was there. I have written there also, here also. So the same thing is, I actually use LaTeX for the writing this PPTs. So the same program that I write in MATLAB, that is invoked into the PPT. So there will not be syntax error even, because these programs are executed programs. So there will not be any error. You just type it properly in a proper way. It will give you the values. Okay, nice. I think you can do this thing. You must have done these things, and there are many things to practice. These are I will share this handout so that you can do other practices of representation of signals. Okay. So today I will not go in the very much depth, and because this is the first day, and because in the first day we cannot. So our operations can also be performed on the signal. So you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide signals with the help of these programs. And these are some practice problems for plotting signals. So these things can be done by you. We will share this handout in the Google Classroom. All of you can download from there. Okay, if there is any query or question, then you can ask.
So there is a question.
Yes.
Which one is easy software, Origin software or MATLAB? Are any difference between them?
If you ask from me, I will say MATLAB. Yes, because in MATLAB we have a lot of programming facility also, and we have plotting facility also. So if you think about the plotting, Origin is good for plotting, but for programming, for getting good results, MATLAB is good. And MATLAB have a very nice facility of plotting also. In plotting, there is a lot of facilities and a lot of things. Therefore, MATLAB is good, better than Origin, because it includes the plotting also, it has programming facility also, and a faster computation facility also. So I would recommend MATLAB compared to Origin. Origin have very good plotting. Is generally used by people for plotting purpose only. Yes. Okay. Okay. Nice. Thank you all for making the session interactive. It was very nice, and I think I'm stopping here because the first day I cannot extend too much. Many people are new; they have not installed MATLAB even. Many people are installing the software, and they are new to software. So I will take slowly today, less today, and in the next session we will cover a lot. We will share a schedule in the Google Classroom for that. Next session.
Sir, we have shared this schedule in Google Classroom. Our next session will going to be conducted on Tuesday. Actually, our sessions will be on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and we will have a long, that is 3-hour hands-on session on Sunday. So during these lectures, we can have our practice and hands-on, but according to time limit, it will permit us. But on Sunday, we have a separate hands-on session for all the previous topics. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very nice. I think it have answered the query that was there about the next session or when the sessions will be conducted. Okay, so I think we can stop here. Or
Yes,
if
sir,
anyone have problem related to their installation and other basics, they can discuss with you, with our coordinators and other hands-on
yes,
experts.
Sir?
Actually, we have 20 more minutes, so we can discuss on the basic parts of MATLAB. Or if we have any query regarding MATLAB installation, you can share your screen so that I can understand what is the problem. And if we have any query regarding today's session, you can ask here. Atul sir is here, so he can answer. Otherwise, we will continue with some other topics.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay, you can ask.
Sir, the Tuesday session, what is the time of the Tuesday session? Because sir, I have a class till...
We are not changing any time. We have the sessions on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday by 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. On Sunday, we have only the session between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
What was the problem actually? You can, let us hear the problem. You can just speak again. What was the problem?
So my problem is I have university class till 7 p.m. Bangladesh time.
Okay.
6:30 p.m. Bangladesh time. 6:30 p.m.
Up to 6:30 by Bangladesh time. So for Indian time, it becomes?
It becomes 6, I guess.
Up to 6. So no problem then. You can join us up by 6:15. Just take 5-10 minutes if you want to take a break. You can take 5-10 minutes break, and you can join by 6:10 here. Just after 10 minutes of your completion of that class.
Yes, sir. Yes, I can do that.
There will not be any problem. There will not be any conflict.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And we will not start before and not take load after 8. After 8, we will not continue. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, no.
Gopal sir, I have one question.
Yes, please.
Sir, I'm not in the Google Classroom. Can you send me the invitation to join the
Okay,
class?
sure. Once you send the Gmail address to me, I will send the request to you by tonight.
Okay. Should I send it in the chat box?
Yes, why not?
Okay.
If there is no question on today's class, anyone don't have, then I can leave. Can I leave now?
Sure, sir. There are no questions on today's class.
Yeah, I think they are in the basics. Many of them are facing problems in the basics only, so you can answer them. Okay, and you can share my handouts to the participants so that they can practice basic signal plotting. Okay, thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, there are lots of Gmail invitations. Thanks to you. I will share the Google Classroom link. I will send you the request.
Okay, sir.
Okay, don't worry. We will sort it out by today.
And sir, can we use Octave instead of MATLAB? Because Octave is
yes, there
are so many issues in installing the MATLAB. So can we
yes, that is one of the problem. But since the signal and image processing is quite advanced topic, so all the functions will work in Octave. I can't say that. So MATLAB is MATLAB.
Okay.
Anyway. So if you can arrange it, that will be better because we have 2 more days in break. By Monday, tomorrow is Sunday and then Monday we don't have any class, so I think you can arrange if
Okay,
possible.
sir. No problem. I will.
Okay, and we suggest for only fundamental part, just for matrix operations, just general mathematical operations. We can suggest Octave, but not for advanced topics, light functions and Simulink and image processing, like those topics.
Okay, sir.
Okay, there are lots of Gmail accounts. One more request to you, that during this class it can be some disturbing or something. Can you send your Gmail IDs to my personal WhatsApp number, because there are lots of email IDs here. I think 4 or 5 email IDs. I will try this on that one. One more thing, if you have any query regarding fundamental part of MATLAB, that what we have discussed in what Atul sir has discussed in this class, you can ask, we can clear out. Anybody have some problems on matrices, on plotting? Just we have 15 minutes, so we can discuss on that. Okay, sure. We can help you for software installation. Yes, you can share. Can you share your screen? If we have any query, then I can see the problem.
Okay, sir. Just
Yes.
give me 1 minute to share the screen.
Sure, sure. Yes, it's visible. Okay, the first one is I think ISO file.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. Yeah, it's ISO.
Okay. Is it extracted or not extracted? I think not extracted.
It's extracted, sir.
Not extracted. It is inside the zip file. It's not in the folder.
Because
so you can't do anything. You have to extract it.
Just close it and right click on that particular folder, that is crack.
Sir, just a minute.
Okay. Okay, the place Gautam. Yes, we can have the session recording, but it may take some time for processing. So after 24 hours, we will upload the recording of the session. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Sir, it's extracted now.
Okay, that is the ISO file, I think. Can you right click on that? Go for R2016A, right click.
Open.
Yes, open.
Yes, sir. After opening, this window is coming.
It is not showing here.
It's not visible to you, sir?
Yes, it's not visible. No opening or no any other things. Just I can see that crack.rar file and R2016 file.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
it's visible.
One announcement is yes. Please share that. Okay, it's visible now. Okay. No, don't go for button. Close it. Actually, it is ISO file that is creating problem. Yes, close it.
Okay, sir.
Again, share your screen. Screen is not visible.
Yeah.
Okay, if anybody have any query, then you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave from the session. Or if you want to stay here, our time limit is about 8 p.m. So if you have query, then you can stay here. Yes, please right click on that.
On this again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, the menu is not visible to me.
No. So every time I have to share actually.
No, your menu is not visible to me. That is the problem.
Sir, what we have to do?
And one more problem is that. Okay. Okay, I will check it out one more time. I will send you another link for a live session. I will check out personally. Will it be okay?
Okay, sir, no problem.
Okay, if it is possible, then after this session we can do it continue, or we can have the same installation by tomorrow in morning, either between 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. I will ask one of our team member. He will personally guide you.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir.
If there will be any problem, then we will try to sort that out. That will be better.
Okay, fine, sir. No problem.
Sure. Because the extension is changed from setup to what do you say ISO file. That is creating problem.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Sir. We'll try again tomorrow. No problem.
Okay. After the session, we can do that also. Yes. Any other thing from your side? I will share the handout and the practice sheet after this session. You can check it by tonight or in morning. You can check out the handout. That is the slides provided by Dr. Atul Dwivedi. Yes, Dr. P.V. Sai sir. You are asking something?
Nothing. Thank you.
Okay. So with this session, I think we are at the ending of session. I will share one more handout practice sheet, which will make you quite familiar with the fundamentals of MATLAB.
Sir,
in which we have some specific topics and specific
hello
commands. Yes.
Sir, can we plot continuous time delta function on MATLAB? Is it possible?
Continuous time delta function. Actually, delta is a discrete.
Sir, we can say impulse function. Can we plot impulse function?
Yes, that is
it possible
is the impulse function
on MATLAB?
what Atul sir has this what do you say displayed here. Okay, I am sharing my screen here.
Possible, sir.
So how can I plot, madam?
Sir?
Because yes, delta function have infinite amplitude, no?
Yes, sir. But it is we have to plot with respect to area, sir. Area will be 1.
So that's why I am asking, how can I plot this? Because so delta function have infinite amplitude at t equals to 0.
For area 1, we can plot, sir. Height and width put together. We can plot. It's available in net, sir. You can search easily.
We can go for that one also.
Google search, sir.
There is a function. No. Area plot is also there. Yes, area plot is also there. Like a plot function, like stem plot, like discrete plot, area plot is also there. One more thing that Kapil is asking is, can you plot a delta function Actually, we directly can't plot an infinite function. We just have to give some values. So we have to define some values.
Amplitude, define some finite amplitude.
Yes, we can't plot infinite.
Okay. Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let me show you. If I have some data like random data, I have 5, 6, 9, 7, and just I want to plot it. What will happen? It will show me a continuous plot like this. Okay, if I want to calculate the area under this curve, then what will happen? Just I have to go for area plot. That is by default function. Let me check out whether it is working or not. Yes, it's working. So it is the area command. I hope it is the solution of your question, ma'am. Vijay ma'am. Yes, we have some more functions. Yeah, plot will give you the line plot, area will give you the area plot. Now, the newer version after 2000, in which we have some different things here. So what to do? The variable in the workspace, then we have to select the variable. So if I click on plot, the first one, it will give the line plot, what we have seen directly. Now, if I go for bar, it will create a bar plot, bar graph with respect to index. Here, you can see. We can see that the first value is 5, therefore, first height is 5, second amplitude is 6, third amplitude is 9, and fourth one is 7. Now it is bar graph by default. We can use a function bar here. It is automatically written over here. Now there is area function. We have seen it, and similarly we have different functions over here. We have lots of tab, lots of function here. If I go for what do we say, stem plot, what we have seen today, this is our stem plot. Stem is nothing but a discrete plot. At a particular time, it will show the result. Without beyond this time, it will not show any result. Means it will not give any response at 1.5 time, 2.5 time, 3.5 time, and so up to so on. It will show at only first time 1, time 2, time 3, and time 4. So these are some basic commands which are useful for our what do we say, signal processing. One more thing that I think you are clear about subplot. Or it will go subplot once more.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I think no queries.
Sir, is there any way to plot the
nice.
bar? Sir,
so shall we end up the session now?
Sir, sir, can you hear me? Sir? Hello?
Yes,
sir, actually in bar chart, sir, in bar chart, what you have shown earlier, sir, bar chart.
Please repeat that.
Am I audible, sir? Bar chart. Sir, in this bar chart, can we plot for
select the vector and go for bar plot.
Sir, 90, 10, 80, 20, 70, 30, like that. Can we vary that bar chart? Can we show the variation, sir? Amplitude in the same 100%, can we show the
no,
90, 10, 80, 20, 70, 30, like that? Can we show the difference in the same bar chart, sir?
Value from this part only. You have to change the variable if you want to change anything.
Okay.
Question?
Okay, sir.
One of your answer that if I go for pie chart, if I go for pie chart, it will show me.
Okay, sir.
So.
Okay, sir.
Percentage.
Okay, sir. Actually, in bar chart we have different values.
So,
in pie chart we don't have different values, sir.
Yes.
Each bar represent different variables,
so
right?
Can you
bar chart? Along the x-axis, each variable is representing.
Yes. No. Each bar is
different amplitude. Okay, different amplitude. But pi it is representing in terms of percentage. Oh, sorry, sir. Okay, sir, no problem. I will ask you in the middle also, in the middle of the courses also.
Actually, voice is cracking, therefore question is quite a. Yes. One thing, ma'am, you can share your question either in form of image or in form of any query in WhatsApp group, so that.
Okay, sir. I will ask, sir.
Can consider that in our next
Thank you.
Will
I will post it in the chat box or in sub.
I think I am not close to your question, therefore I am asking for that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Of that type of bar chart or anything, and we will try to consider. We will try to cover that topic in our next session. Okay. That.